this is Bob Peterson reporting from the lottery in Deal, New Jersey. Tonight, Commissioner Franco will tell us who will select where in this year's fantasy football draft. Now, with us at the lottery is Steve McPherson to explain how the lottery works.
I am here in the gold room with the lottery materials that will be used to decide the order in this year's draft. This is the basket in which the commissioner will pick the names out of, and these are the actual papers with the names on them that are used. After the lottery, these papers will be auctioned off and the proceeds will go to charity. The commissioner will take a piece of paper out of this bin, which will read a name. First name he picks out will pick first, and so on and so forth.
Thanks, Steve. And now we will go to our expert, Will Chambers, to answer a couple of questions about this year's draft. Will, can you tell us who you're going to take first pick overall in fantasy this year?
Well, Bob, thank you for having me. I think this year the first overall pick has got to be Peyton Manning. After a season like last year, he's got to be the best player in fantasy. He's a great quarterback, still got crazy weapons, and over there in Denver they're rolling. So I think you got to take Peyton Manning first.
All right, and just quickly, give us a sleeper that you would take this year. You know, someone maybe going under the radar that you think is going to have a great season.
Well, a sleeper for this year's draft's got to be Toby Gerhardt. The guy is great. You know, he's cool. He spoke to me one time at this dinner, and he was really nice. And I really think he's a good guy and a good player. And I think you got to get him as a sleeper later this year.
And now, I'm getting word that the commissioner will be out in a moment. Let's send it to him to the lottery.
Ladies and gentlemen, your commissioner.
Hello everybody, and welcome to the 2014 Fantasy Football Draft Lottery. Before we begin, I would like to take an opportunity to bid farewell to our old member, Morris the Talk here, for his involvement in our fantasy league. He was a wonderful owner and a great participant, and we really will be missing him. But I would surely be remiss if I did not mention our new owners, Joey Uziel and Abraham Salem. The Salem Franco team will be something we are all looking forward to and excited to see this year. And now, for the draft lottery. Picking first in this year's 2014 Fantasy Football Draft will be Abe Duche. Picking second in this year's 2014 Fantasy Football Draft will be Joey Uziel. Picking third in this year's 2014 Fantasy Football Draft will be David Paul Sutton. Picking fourth in this year's 2014 Fantasy Football Draft will be Toby Yedid. Picking fifth in this year's 2014 Fantasy Football Draft will be the Abe Salem, Abe Franco combination. Picking sixth in this year's 2014 Fantasy Football Draft will be Stephen Beda. Picking seventh in this year's 2014 Fantasy Football Draft will be Elliot the Raccoon Haddad. And picking eighth in this year's 2014 Fantasy Football Draft will be Jacob Franco, the commissioner. Thank you everybody for watching. We hope that you enjoy fantasy this year. Happy drafting and good night.
Well, there are your results. Just to read it back for you, the draft order will be Abe Duche, Joey Uziel, David Sutton, Toby Yedid, Abe Franco, Abe Salem combination, Stephen Beda, Elliot Haddad, and Jacob Franco. And now, post-lottery exclusive interview with the commissioner. Commissioner, can you tell us a little bit about the lottery and how it's grown over the last couple of years?
Well, thank you for having me, Bob. I would like to say the lottery has been a wonderful event over the last couple of years. And I know that some people might say, well, you know, it's a little overdone. Well, you know, it's not. It's a wonderful process. Everybody enjoys it, and it's really been something fascinating for me over the last couple of years.
And how do you feel about the overall state of fantasy football?
Well, I think fantasy football is just a wonderful game, and I am surely excited
Well,
for this year's
thank
draft.
you, Mr. Commissioner, and for everybody at home watching. I hope you enjoyed this year's fantasy draft lottery. We'll be back with more next year. Goodbye and good night.